Good job. Hello everybody, happy Monday. Throughout my parenthood journey, I have made a lot of mom hacks video, but for today I want to focus on toddler parent hacks. These are things I use and I have figured out and have made my life so much easier, so let's just hop right in. Number one, scheduled meal and snack time. So if you have a toddler who is suddenly not wanting to sit and enjoy mealtime, especially dinner time, I feel like you're kind of doing like snacks here and there, it can really mess up certain meal times. Everyone's schedule is gonna look different, but to give you my schedule, to maybe give you a bit of guidance, we do breakfast at 7:30 because we normally have like a 6:37 wake up, and we do normally do like a pouch right away. That is now starting to fade away. We do snack at 10. This is just when like her preschool on Wednesdays is snack time, so I'm keeping it consistent. And about like a 2-hour break in between eating, I feel like is when toddlers can handle it. So snack at 10, lunch at noon, so that is right before nap time for us. With nap sitting around normally 1 to 2:30, we do like a 3 or 3:30 depending on when she wakes up, second snack of the day. Now I try to keep about a 2-hour break in between dinner, and this is really key to her being hungry enough to eat dinner and not filling up on snacks beforehand. Of course, there are days when your toddler is growing and extra hungry, or maybe they're just, going through a mental leap and they're not as hungry. Never put pressure around food, but helping create structure and routine for yourself, but also just your child to know what to expect throughout the day and being consistent with it can really help your toddler feel more comfortable and confident with their daily structure. Number 2, a visual timer. Toddlers have a really hard time understanding the concept of time, which is why everything seems to be like now with a toddler, and that's where they are developmentally. And the concept of time can be very abstract. And so having something that's visual that represents time can really help kids at this age. This timer I got, I think it's around $14 from Amazon. Comes in different colors. If you don't like blue, I have the blue one. My recommendation would be to start off small in time segments and just keep it consistent throughout your day and kind of like add more things to your routine in which you show concepts of time. So one way you could show it is a 2-minute visual timer and say we're gonna do cleanup for 2 minutes, and maybe they'll help, maybe they won't, maybe they'll just watch you, but having them slowly incorporate this routine and understanding time will eventually grow to, you set a 15-minute timer for independent play, you set a 5 minutes of TV, and then we're going to bed. Just imagine going through your day and not knowing what day of the week it is and what time it is and what's on your agenda, and it can really make you feel lost and like you don't have independence. And so this is great for, again, creating structure and helping them have independence and understanding of what is going on that day. Number 3, handling big feelings, or as some people say, tantrums. It's two in the same. Big feelings is just a more gentle parenting way, I feel like, of understanding it. I take the gentle parenting approach, and sometimes you just gotta call a tantrum a tantrum, but understanding tantrums and how they happen, how they can escalate, and when is a teachable moment and when isn't a teachable moment is so helpful for the parent. And I actually learned this on TikTok. I'll link the TikTok down below, but it's like a psychology-based study on how a toddler brain processes information and when they can and can't. And so there were like 3 different levels. There is a green level. So this could be a very minimal beginning of a big feeling. It's just them testing their limits, but they're still mentally in like a good and receptive state. And so this is what you would be calling a teachable moment. They are receptive to learn maybe why no wasn't the right answer. Maybe it was no to putting a jacket on, and you can teach them that it's cold outside, so we need to wear a jacket. Would you like to walk outside and feel the temperature? Do you feel the cold on your skin? Do you want to put the jacket on now to be warm? If a level green escalates into a level yellow, which is you're getting a lot more resistance, maybe you're starting to get a bigger feeling, some tears, they are, not as receptive as they were in the green state. As parents, to navigate this, we need to stay calm. We need to be the serenity in the beginning of the storm. A lot of times this can be happening because the toddler feels like a misunderstanding is happening. They're not being heard, and how frustrating is that? And so you want to make it clear that it is not a misunderstanding. Maybe we're going with the same jacket scenario, and they toss the jacket to the ground and they start crying and they say no 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 no. With this yellow level, really the last thing you can try to do if it's not working is try to distract them with two different options. So would you like to walk back inside holding mommy's hand, or would you like to walk by yourself? And you may have to repeat yourself multiple times, but just kind of getting them out of this mindset, calming them down, making them feel safe, giving them two other options to give them a choice and independence, and bringing them back down to a green level. If that doesn't happen and it escalates to a red level, this would be a true big feeling. What you would see a tantrum, a toddler throwing themselves on the floor, really resisting you, lots of tears. This is a really hard time for both the toddler and the parent, and in the level red, the best thing you can do is just console your child, making them feel safe, offer to give them a hug, offer to give them space. I know a lot of people out there tend to say if your child gets this state, or even if you're in this state and you're saying to yourself, I'm a bad parent, everyone thinks I'm a bad parent, like I did something wrong. Honestly, this is normal, age-appropriate behavior. They are just learning and testing boundaries, and they're testing you, and they want an environment to feel safe in. And once they feel that, they will slowly escalate back down to a yellow level. You can use those tips, and then green. And then that is when they are in their receptive learning state, and you can teach them, why this misunderstanding happened, why it wasn't okay, how we can navigate this better in the future, understanding when your child is ready to be receptive to learning a teachable moment rather than trying to teach them when they are in their id state and they really cannot retain that information, can really bring you some peace that you are doing a great job, and it's normal for your kids to go through these testing limits, these big feelings. You're doing a great job. Finding healthy ways to teach your toddler independence, ways to explore their independence. This will really help build their self-esteem and learn how to handle and navigate the world as they grow up into adults. And I do get a lot of slack for this online when I show, I let my daughter pick between two weather appropriate outfits, not just to create independence, but express herself on, in what she wants to wear. A lot of people will say, oh, you are, giving your child too much control. Well, I want my child to have some sense of control. Of course, there are things as a parent you need to be in control of, but if there's two weather appropriate outfits, I'm gonna let her make a choice and pick what she wants to wear. If it's snack time, I'm gonna offer her two different snacks, because I wouldn't want someone every single day of my life telling me what I'm gonna eat at snack time and that's my only offer. I'm gonna give them two options, and this will really help build their confidence because they're making decisions for them. They're learning what they like, what they want. Giving them two different options of toys to play with can also help you understand what kind of things they are into. These little toddlers are gonna be their own people one day, and maybe they'll surprise you and they'll pick the little toy ukulele when you're totally musically incapable over the coloring book when you love to paint. I know this tip might not be for everyone. Every parent is allowed to parent how they like, but I think giving your child choices when appropriate is a great thing to do and really helps their self-confidence. Number 5, speaking of raising little adults, getting toys that simulate the things that you do every day can be very helpful in not only teaching them one day how to enjoy and have fun doing these adult-like things, cooking and cleaning, but you can also get cooking and cleaning done when they feel like they are being a part of it. Have you ever tried cooking dinner and then you have your toddler like attached to your leg and they're trying to touch the stove and it's just, you feel like you can't get anything done? Well, if you give them their own little cooking set and you say, hey, can you make mommy like an ice cream sandwich with like the toy stuff? And that'll give you some time to get stuff done in the kitchen to eventually you can all come together and, you know, your toddler can help you cook. I do have her help me cook in some ways. I'm not as brave as her father. He has her like cracking eggs and like, I don't know, sous vide stuff. I'm always shocked by what he's having her do. I've done like light baking with her, but if you want to go like the small approach starting out, getting these toys that, you know, simulate cleaning, like a little Dyson vacuum as you vacuum can help you actually get vacuuming done, because my toddler would like try to take my vacuum from me and I felt like I couldn't do anything. So I feel like that is a huge hack. Get toys that are like the things you're doing. Number 6, we have started some age appropriate chores. And the ones we are doing that I feel like are great for toddlers that my daughter has really taken to, and I feel like she's so proud when she does it, is I have her bring her own trash. So if I open, say, one of those little toddler bars and there's the wrapper, usually she'll just drop it right to the floor and I'll say, Errol, can you take that to the trash? Can you take that to the trash, please? And it did take some time and she still doesn't always do it, but most of the time she does, and she smiles when she does. She likes having these little things to do that make her feel like what mommy does, not throw away trash all the time. Even when I take out the trash myself, I'll give her like a little bag of, you know, something to throw away and carry that's not as heavy as a big trash bag, and she'll walk with me to the trash room, and then she'll go up there and she'll put the little trash in, and she's so proud of it. It's so cute. The other thing we do is, say if I give her a little dish for a snack, maybe a little bowl of blueberries, usually what she would do is just, again, toss it to the ground. But now, you know, when I go to the sink and do the dishes, I have her bring it to me, to eventually one day she can do the dishes. Number 7, this is such a hack. The running, walking song. I learned this at gym class, and I won't sing it for, maybe I can sing it a little bit. I'm really musically inept. It's like walking, hopping, running. Okay, pretty much they teach you walking, hopping, running, and stop. And I found this so helpful when I'm walking with my daughter somewhere and she's holding my hand and we're crossing a street, and before I get there, I'll do the running, walking, stop at the light. And my daughter loves this song so much in gym class. She's like the first one to stop. And it has been such a key way of teaching her stop. And also, say if she gets distracted and we're walking and we're trying to go to the car, I'll start singing that song to walking, running, and I can get her from being distracted and take the lead, and it's a song and she loves it. She has so much fun, and I can actually get her from point A to point B safely. So I'll link the song down below because I did a really bad job singing it. So I would practice it at home, make it a really fun thing you guys do together. You can walk and hop and run and stop all around the house. You don't have to do it in a gym class. And I'm telling you, this will help navigate the outside world with a toddler a lot better. Number 8, Luvies. If you don't know what a Luvie is, it's usually like an object a child will just get an affinity for, and sometimes it's a blanket, sometimes it's a doll, sometimes it's a stuffed animal. For my daughter, it took a while for her to get a Luvie. I would say it was like into toddlerhood, and now it's these dolls from Target. And thankfully it wasn't an expensive Luvie, but she needs it like to sleep. She likes to take it around. It's really just a comfort item. And my biggest tip is, if you see your child grow an affinity towards something, get a lot of them, because sometimes I'll leave it in the car and it'll be bedtime and I don't want to go all the way down to like the elevator, the garage, the car, and all the way back up. And so now I have one in the car, one at home, one at grandma's house, and a backup, because if your child has a Luvie, you know, you need the Luvie to get through a lot of moments. Number 9, I always get asked about picky eaters, and I would say we did really well with baby led weaning. My daughter ate a ton of really unique foods, and she did get a really good palate. Through toddlerhood, she has definitely not regressed, but she's just decided, more of what she likes and she doesn't like. And there aren't a ton of, veggies that she really, really likes. I wouldn't say she's necessarily a picky eater, but I'm always looking for new ways to get veggies into her. And I know a lot of you have very, very picky eaters, and I understand the struggle. Let me tell you, this raspberry kale smoothie is so delicious. I discovered it at this place called Erewhon, which is an overpriced grocery store in LA, if you've never heard of it. And they had this raspberry kale smoothie, and I went there just to buy that. And it's, I don't know, like $14 for a glass jar of it. And I would bring it home, my daughter would drink it. It's literally like raspberry kale and like fermented yogurt, and I'll put the whole ingredient list down below, but I went there so much, my daughter liked it so much, I was like, I can't be spending this on a smoothie. I learned how to make it at home. Even if your toddler doesn't end up liking this magical raspberry and kale smoothie, there are so many great ways to sneak veggies in a smoothie. So that is my biggest tip right now. That works for me with a lightly picky eater. Smoothies all the way. Oh, and I also call smoothies juice. For some reason, if I offer my toddler a smoothie, no. If I say juice, it's a big yes. So I don't know, maybe that'll work for you too. Number 10, and this is gonna be for the families that do celebrate Christmas. I know not everyone does. A lot of my family's Jewish. I get it. But it is a really respectful way of going about Christmas for everyone else in the world. I loved hearing this tip. The tip is, make sure the gifts that Santa is bringing, call up Santa and, let him know that he's getting the smaller gifts. If you're getting a big gift, it's coming from the parents. And this is purely because when kids go to school and they compare Christmas gifts, it's not really fair for Santa to get a really big item for one child and another family can't do that, and Santa gets a smaller item because that's, the budget, and it can really make that kid feel like, why is Santa favoring one over the other? And so Santa should really be bringing equal gifts for all kids. If you have your heart set on a bigger item, have it come from the parents. I think this is such a great tip for the community of kids in general, especially when they're going to school and they're talking. So I loved hearing that, and I thought I would just pass that one on. Number 11, I was just going to do 10, but I thought I would add one more because the last tip doesn't apply to everyone. But I learned this in speech therapy, and it truly does work. If your toddler is not listening to you and, they're in their own world and they're, doing something else and you're trying to get their attention, instead of repeating yourself, potentially getting louder and louder with your repeats, take it down a notch and try whispering. It will suddenly snap them out of it and it'll get attention. So instead of going louder to get attention, go quieter. And that just creates a more peaceful, harmonious, calm environment in general. But yeah, in speech therapy, I noticed the therapist was trying to, switch attention to a project that my child could be doing that, was for speech reasons, but she was more interested in a different toy and wasn't listening. She would whisper, and my daughter would be like, what? And come over and have interest in this. It's just a little psychology thing. She said she learned that in school, and it really is a trick. So I thought I would pass on that last tip. If you feel like you aren't being heard, get quieter. And guys, those are my top 11 toddler mom hacks. Let me know down below if you enjoyed them and if you have any to add. I am always looking to learn, and I love the community that we have, and we all share stuff and learn from each other. So definitely leave it in the comments down below. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. It helps out my channel a lot, and I will see you next Monday. Bye!